focus is the silent engine of achievement. In a world flooded with distraction, the ability to direct attention with clarity and purpose is rare and invaluable. Stoicism teaches that discipline is cultivated from within, anchored in reason, observation, and deliberate action. By understanding and applying timeless Stoic truths, the mind can become unshakable, concentrated, and resilient, capable of operating at its highest potential. Distraction is not merely external, it is a reflection of internal unrest. Every uncontrolled thought, unexamined desire, and reactive impulse scatters energy and erodes mental clarity. The Stoic path shows that by training perception, directing effort wisely, and eliminating what weakens resolve, focus can be rebuilt, sharpened, and multiplied exponentially. In this video, we explore 10 profound Stoic truths that illuminate the path to unwavering focus and restored discipline. Each truth is paired with reflective exercises, practical applications, and visualization techniques to embed clarity and control deeply in your mind. These are not fleeting tips. They are enduring principles that shape character, productivity, and resilience. If you are ready to strengthen your mind, reclaim attention, and rebuild discipline, subscribe to the channel. Each cinematic Stoic lesson brings practical wisdom, mental tools, and reflections to help you act with precision, live intentionally, and cultivate unshakable focus in every area of life. One. Cultivate awareness of your mind. The mind is the instrument through which all action and perception occur. A scattered mind cannot focus, just as an untuned instrument cannot produce a pure note. Stoicism teaches that awareness, observing thoughts without attachment, is the foundation of discipline. By recognizing distractions, desires, and reactive impulses, you reclaim control over attention, guiding it toward what is meaningful and virtuous. Visualize your mind as a calm lake. Each thought is a ripple on its surface. Left unchecked, these ripples collide, creating chaos and confusion. Awareness allows you to notice these disturbances without being swept away, restoring clarity and composure. The Stoic practices reflection and mindfulness, observing mental patterns, identifying recurring distractions, and gently redirecting attention to deliberate action. Pause and reflect. Where does my attention drift, and why? Understanding the causes of distraction is the first step in eliminating them. By observing impulses, resisting unnecessary reactions, and directing focus to what can be influenced, mental energy becomes concentrated and potent. Practice daily mental audits. Note wandering thoughts, assess their origin, and consciously return to purpose. Over time, awareness strengthens focus, sharpens discipline, and fortifies resilience. The mind becomes a tool of precision, capable of sustained, deliberate effort without succumbing to chaos. For more cinematic Stoic lessons, practical exercises, and reflections to cultivate awareness, rebuild discipline, and achieve unshakable focus in every aspect of life, subscribe now. Two. Prioritize what you can control. Much of human distraction and mental chaos stems from investing energy in things beyond influence. Stoicism teaches that the foundation of focus is discerning what is within your control and what is not. By directing attention exclusively toward what can be shaped through reason and action, the mind becomes disciplined, resilient, and free from unnecessary disturbance. Visualize your mind as a ship navigating the sea. External storms may rage, the opinions of others, unforeseen events, or random setbacks, but the rudder, your reason, is always within control. Focusing on what can be steered allows the ship to move forward steadily, unaffected by waves that cannot be calmed. The Stoic navigates life with this clarity, recognizing that worry about the uncontrollable is wasted energy and an enemy of focus. Pause and reflect. Am I devoting thought and effort to what I can influence, or am I distracted by the uncontrollable? Awareness of this distinction immediately clears mental clutter. By accepting what cannot be changed and concentrating on purposeful action, clarity emerges, and the mind regains strength and discipline. Practice redirecting thoughts and effort daily. When anxiety or distraction arises, ask, is this within my control? If yes, act deliberately. If not, release it over time. This cultivates unwavering focus, mental independence, and the ability to respond with precision and calm in all situations. If this resonates, subscribe to the channel for Stoic reflections, practical exercises, and guidance to rebuild discipline, sharpen focus, and live intentionally in alignment with reason and purpose. 3. Embrace discipline as a path to freedom. Discipline is often mistaken for restriction, yet Stoicism teaches that true freedom is born from self-mastery. Without structure, focus dissolves, and the mind becomes a prisoner of whims, impulses, and distraction. By embracing discipline deliberately, every action aligns with purpose, virtue, and clarity, unlocking mental power and sustained attention. Visualize your mind as a finely tuned bow. Discipline is the tension that allows the arrow to fly straight and true. Without it, energy dissipates, and effort is wasted. The Stoic cultivates daily habits, intentional routines, and deliberate practice, not as punishment, but as a means to harness potential, direct energy, and achieve mastery over thought and action. Pause and reflect. Do my actions serve my long-term growth, or do I surrender to convenience and impulse? Recognizing the small moments where discipline is ignored, delays, distractions, avoidance, reveals opportunities to strengthen focus and reclaim control. Each act of self-discipline reinforces autonomy, sharpens the mind, and fosters resilience. Practice consistent routines, deliberate work periods, and mindful engagement with responsibilities. Each small commitment compounds, fortifying mental stamina and clarity. Over time, discipline ceases to feel restrictive, it becomes the foundation for freedom, intentional action, and unwavering focus. Subscribing to this channel ensures you continue cultivating more cinematic Stoic guidance, practical exercises, and reflections to cultivate discipline, rebuild focus, and live a life of unshakable clarity, purpose, and inner strength. Four. Remove distractions from your environment. The mind mirrors its surroundings. A cluttered, chaotic environment breeds scattered attention, wasted energy, and weakened focus. Stoicism teaches that external conditions shape internal states, and that by intentionally simplifying and organizing your surroundings, the mind is freed to concentrate on what truly matters. Visualize your workspace, your home, or even your digital space as a canvas. Each unnecessary object, notification, or chaotic element is a stain, pulling attention away from clarity and purpose. The Stoic removes these distractions deliberately, creating a space that reflects calm, order, and focus. A well-ordered environment acts as a mirror for the mind, reinforcing discipline and sustaining attention on meaningful endeavors. Pause and reflect. Do my surroundings support clarity and intentional action, or do they fragment my focus? Awareness of environmental influence allows deliberate adjustments, removing clutter, silencing unnecessary alerts, and creating spaces dedicated to reflection, work, or study. Each conscious choice restores mental clarity and strengthens the ability to concentrate deeply. Practice daily decluttering, both physically and digitally. Create areas free from distractions and cultivate rituals that signal the mind to focus. Over time, these habits reinforce attention, sharpen discipline, and foster the conditions in which sustained focus naturally thrives. If this resonates, subscribe now to the channel for cinematic Stoic lessons, practical exercises, and reflections to remove distraction, rebuild discipline, and cultivate unshakable mental clarity in every aspect of life. Five. Train the mind to endure discomfort. Focus and discipline thrive not in comfort, but in the ability to persist despite difficulty. Stoicism teaches that discomfort, when approached deliberately, strengthens the mind and reinforces control over attention and impulse. By training the mind to endure hardship, you cultivate resilience, sharpen concentration, and reclaim the ability to act with purpose regardless of circumstances. Visualize your mind as a sword being forged. Each trial, challenge, or moment of deliberate discomfort tempers its strength, hardens its edge, and aligns it for precision. Avoidance of difficulty leaves the mind soft, easily swayed, and vulnerable to distraction. The Stoic faces challenges consciously, recognizing that adversity is an opportunity to refine focus, reinforce discipline, and strengthen self-mastery. Pause and reflect. Do I seek only comfort, or am I willing to endure challenge for growth? Awareness of avoidance patterns reveals the subtle ways the mind weakens. By embracing controlled discomfort, early mornings, difficult tasks, mental rigor, you build resilience that anchors focus and empowers deliberate action. Practice small, intentional acts of discomfort daily. Engage in challenging work, resist impulses, or confront difficult truths. Each act strengthens mental stamina, sharpens attention, and reinforces the principle that discipline emerges from engagement, not ease. Subscribe to the channel for more Stoic guidance, practical exercises, and reflections to build mental resilience, embrace challenge, and cultivate unshakable focus and discipline in every area of life. Six. Practice single tasking and deep work. The modern mind is bombarded with constant multitasking, scattering attention and diminishing the quality of effort. Stoicism teaches that focus is cultivated through deliberate, concentrated action. By committing to one task at a time, fully present, you harness mental energy, strengthen discipline, and produce work with precision and purpose. Visualize your mind as a laser beam. When attention is split across multiple tasks, energy diffuses, and clarity dims. Focus on one objective allows intensity, depth, and efficiency to flourish. The Stoic engages fully, giving each task the attention it deserves, while resisting the pull of distraction, external noise, or mental wandering. Each completed task reinforces self-mastery and reinforces a disciplined mind. Pause and reflect. Am I scattering my attention, or am I fully immersed in meaningful action? Awareness of fragmented focus allows conscious redirection. By practicing single tasking, you transform each activity into a deliberate exercise in concentration, mental clarity, and purposeful engagement. Practice deep work routines daily. Dedicate uninterrupted periods to a single meaningful task. Silence external distractions, and immerse fully. Over time, this cultivates profound concentration, efficiency, and discipline, empowering the mind to operate with unshakable focus even amidst the chaos of modern life. For cinematic Stoic reflections, practical exercises, and guidance to cultivate deep focus, rebuild discipline, and master the art of intentional, unshakable attention, subscribe now. Seven. Control your desires and impulses. Uncontrolled desires and impulsive reactions scatter attention, drain energy, and weaken discipline. Stoicism teaches that mastery over the self is the foundation of mental clarity and unwavering focus. By observing, regulating, and redirecting impulses, the mind becomes a precise instrument, capable of deliberate, intentional action. Visualize your mind as a still pond. Every uncontrolled desire is a stone thrown into the water, creating ripples that disturb focus and clarity. The Stoic observes these impulses, recognizing their source, and chooses whether to act or let them pass. By cultivating restraint, the mind remains calm, concentrated, and directed toward meaningful action rather than fleeting satisfaction. Pause and reflect. Am I acting according to reason and purpose, or am I led by fleeting impulses? Awareness of desires and habitual reactions allows you to redirect attention and energy toward what truly matters. This conscious control strengthens focus, fortifies discipline, and protects mental clarity from distraction. Practice observing impulses daily. Notice cravings, emotional reactions, or sudden urges, then pause before responding. Over time, this builds resilience, sharpens attention, and creates a mind that is deliberate, unshakable, and guided by principle rather than whim. If this resonates, subscribing to this channel helps you with cinematic Stoic guidance, practical exercises, and reflections to cultivate self-mastery, sharpen focus, and rebuild discipline for unshakable mental clarity and purpose. 8. Reflect daily on your actions and progress. Without reflection, the mind drifts blindly, and focus dissipates. Stoicism teaches that disciplined thought requires regular self-examination. By reviewing actions, intentions, and outcomes daily, you identify distractions, correct errors, and reinforce habits that strengthen attention and cultivate unwavering discipline. Visualize your mind as a sculptor shaping marble. Daily reflection is the chisel, revealing clarity, structure, and refined purpose from the raw material of thought and behavior. Each moment of introspection sharpens insight, exposes wasted effort, and illuminates the path toward focused, deliberate action. The Stoic practices reflection not as judgment, but as a tool to cultivate mastery over attention, priorities, and decisions. Pause and reflect. How have I directed my attention today? Where did I falter, and where did I succeed? Awareness allows course correction and reinforces mental habits that align with purpose and principle. By consciously examining actions, the mind strengthens focus, sharpens judgment, and cultivates self-discipline. Practice end-of-day reflection daily. Review tasks, assess focus, and identify distractions. Celebrate successes, acknowledge failures, and refine strategies. Over time, this fosters clarity, intentionality, and resilience, ensuring that the mind remains sharp, disciplined, and capable of sustained, purposeful focus. Subscribe to the channel for Stoic lessons, practical exercises, and reflections to build self-awareness, strengthen discipline, and cultivate unshakable focus in every area of life. Nine. Accept setbacks as opportunities for growth. Disruption, failure, and unforeseen challenges are inevitable. Stoicism teaches that focus and discipline are not about avoiding obstacles, but about responding to them with clarity and reason. By reframing setbacks as opportunities for growth, the mind maintains direction, energy, and resilience instead of succumbing to frustration or distraction. Visualize your mind as a river flowing toward the sea. Rocks and fallen branches may block its path, but the water finds a way around them, continuing steadily. Similarly, the Stoic meets obstacles without panic or resistance, learning from each challenge, strengthening focus, and cultivating perseverance. Setbacks become teachers, sharpening attention and reinforcing disciplined thought. Pause and reflect. Do I allow failure to scatter my focus, or do I extract wisdom and act deliberately? Awareness of perspective allows the mind to remain calm, resilient, and intentional, even in the face of difficulty. By viewing setbacks as lessons rather than hindrances, energy is preserved for purposeful action rather than wasted on resistance or complaint. Practice responding to minor challenges daily with composure and reflection. Analyze mistakes, adjust strategies, and continue toward objectives with renewed focus. Over time, this builds mental resilience, reinforces discipline, and cultivates the ability to maintain unwavering attention regardless of circumstances. For cinematic Stoic guidance, practical exercises, and reflections to transform setbacks into growth, sharpen focus, and strengthen discipline for unshakable mental clarity and purpose, subscribe now. 10. Anchor yourself in purpose, not distraction. Without a clear purpose, focus is easily shattered by external noise, fleeting desires, and trivial concerns. Stoicism teaches that the mind achieves unshakable clarity when anchored in principle, reason, and meaningful objectives. Purpose acts as a compass, guiding attention and effort toward what truly matters, while distractions are observed but not indulged. Visualize your mind as a lighthouse standing firm amid turbulent seas. The storm represents distraction, fleeting thoughts, and external pressures. Anchored in purpose, the light of focus shines steadily, guiding action and illuminating the path forward. The Stoic keeps sight of this inner beacon, letting external chaos pass without derailing attention or resolve. Pause and reflect. Am I acting in alignment with my highest values, or am I drifting with every distraction? Awareness of purpose provides clarity, strengthens intention, and cultivates mental sovereignty. By grounding thought and action in meaningful objectives, focus becomes a natural byproduct of deliberate living. Practice defining daily intentions, aligning tasks with overarching goals, and evaluating whether each action serves your purpose. Over time, this strengthens discipline, preserves attention, and cultivates a mind that operates with precision, calm, and unshakable resolve. If this resonates, subscribe to the channel for cinematic Stoic lessons, practical exercises, and reflections to anchor your mind, rebuild discipline, and cultivate unshakable focus in every aspect of life. Focus is not a gift, it is a skill forged through deliberate practice, self-mastery, and adherence to principle. Stoicism teaches that clarity and discipline are cultivated, not stumbled upon, and that the mind achieves unshakable power when it is trained to observe, endure, and act with intention. By cultivating awareness, prioritizing what you can control, embracing discipline, removing distractions, enduring discomfort, practicing deep work, controlling impulses, reflecting daily, reframing setbacks, and anchoring in purpose, the mind becomes a tool of precision, resilience, and unyielding attention. Each truth is a stepping stone toward mental mastery, a compass pointing toward deliberate action and unshakable focus. Visualize your life as a vast landscape. Every thought, action, and choice shapes the terrain. By applying these Stoic truths, you clear the path of distraction, sharpen your mind, and align every step with purpose and principle. Freedom, clarity, and discipline emerge not by chance, but through conscious cultivation of these timeless practices. If this journey resonates, subscribe to the channel for cinematic Stoic guidance, practical exercises, and reflections to strengthen your mind, rebuild focus, and live with clarity, discipline, and unshakable purpose in every aspect of life. Step forward intentionally and master the art of attention, for it is the foundation of a life well lived.